Hi, I'm Jake,
Mazel tov. And I'm Ryan.
and we're going to talk about Arthur Miller. First, we're going to talk about Arthur Miller's early life and the history of the early 1900s. For all who don't know, Arthur Miller is one of the most famous American playwrights in the 20th century. He was born in New York City in 1915. Much of his childhood was primarily influenced by the Great Depression. This caused his family, along with millions of others, to struggle financially. After graduating high school, he was forced to work in a warehouse and worked long, hard shifts. After saving up lots of money, he afforded to attend the University of Michigan. Michigan is where Miller first started to write his plays. Arthur's perspective in his writing was heavily influenced not only by the Great Depression, but also the World Wars. As a young child, Miller experienced the effect that the First World War had on America. Miller went on to experience the Second World War later in his life. This war had a huge impact on his writing career. He references this war in many of his plays, most notably in the play All My Sons, where it plays a huge role in the main character's life.
I'm going to talk about some plays that Arthur Miller wrote right now. Arthur Miller's best play is Death of a Salesman, which was written in 1949. Death of a Salesman addresses loss of identity and a man's inability to accept change within himself and society.
Blue riding on a smile and a shoe shine. And when they stop smiling back, boy, that's an earthquake.
Tell you a secret, boys, don't breathe it to a soul. Someday, I'll have a business of my own, and I'll never have to leave home anymore.
Arthur Miller wrote the play The Crucible in 1953. Inspired by the MacArthur hearings of the 1950s, Arthur Miller's play, The Crucible, focuses on the inconsistencies of the Salem witch trials and the extreme behavior that can result from dark desires and hidden agendas. By the end of 1692, the Salem court had convicted and executed 19 men and women.
And them that fear not light will surely praise it. I hope you will be one of those. While I speak God's law, I will not crack its voice with whimpering. If it's retaliation you fear, know this. I should hang 10,000 who dared to rise against the law, and an ocean of salt tears could not melt the resolution of the statutes.
All My Sons is a 3-act play written in 1946 by Arthur Miller. It opened on Broadway at the Cora Ornette Theater in New York City on January 29, 1947. All My Sons tells the story of Joe Keller, a successful middle-aged, self-made man who has done a terrible and tragic thing. He framed his business partner for a crime and engineered his own exoneration. Now his son is about to marry the partner's daughter. The affair is revisited, and his lie of the life is unrevealed.
Hey.
Where you belong.
Chris, a man can't be a Jesus in this world.
I know all about the world. I know the whole crap story. Now listen to this and tell me what a man's got to be. My dear Anne, are you listening? He wrote this the day he died. Listen, don't cry. Listen.
Now I'm going to talk about Arthur Miller's relationship with Marilyn Monroe. It's going to get spicy. Besides his playwriting, Arthur Miller is best known for his marriage to Marilyn Monroe. Arthur had several divorces and kids before marrying Monroe. They met at a Hollywood party and started out as friends. Their friendship slowly became romantic the more they hung out and the more Arthur wrote to Marilyn. Their relationship was high profile and placed a massive spotlight in Hollywood. They were known as the Great American Brain and the Great American Body. However, their relationship didn't last long. After they married, they grew apart over time and got a divorce. In summary, Arthur Miller is a legend.